When babysitting turns into a child custody battle, I am honestly still shaken and unsure if I did the right thing. My brother Ben has a daughter, Lily, 5 years old, with Tara, his girlfriend. Tara's not my favorite person. She's been kind of standoffish since they got together, but I chalked it up to personality differences. They've been together about 6 years. Ben was always the golden child in our family, but I never held it against him. We were pretty close growing up. Tara and Ben live about 2 hours away from me in a small town. They're not rich by any means, but they're stable. I work as a pediatric nurse in a busy hospital, and I don't have kids myself, but I've always adored my niece. So 3 weeks ago, Ben asked if I could watch Lily for a long weekend, Friday to Monday morning, because they had to attend a funeral out of state. I agreed, and Lily came to stay with me. I was excited to have time with her and figured it'd be low-key, but the weekend was strange. It started with her showing up with no clothes, except the ones she was wearing. An old hoodie, 2 sizes too big, stained leggings, and worn-out sneakers. No pajamas, no toothbrush, no toys, nothing. I texted Tara asking if they forgot her bag, and she said, "Oh, we were in a rush. Just grab her stuff from the dollar store if she needs anything. We'll Venmo you." That alone annoyed me. But I went out, spent over $80 on essentials, and tried not to let it bother me. Then Lily started doing this thing where she would flinch when I moved too fast or raised my voice slightly. Once I went to high-five her and she instinctively ducked. That stopped me cold. Then there were food issues. She didn't seem to know what some normal foods were. She didn't know what strawberries were, had never had broccoli, and was scared of the microwave. When I asked what she usually ate, she said, just noodles and ketchup or sometimes cereal if it's not gone. I was horrified. The worst moment came Sunday night when she had an accident in bed. I told her it was okay, that it happens. She started crying and begging me not to tell her mom, saying, she said if I pee again, she'll make me sleep outside like last time. I asked her what she meant, and she told me that once, Tara had made her sleep in their back shed for being gross. I lost it. I tried to stay calm for Lily, but I barely slept that night. Monday morning, I drove her back myself, even though Ben offered to pick her up. I told him I wanted to talk in person. I confronted him gently about the flinching and bedwetting comments. He brushed it off, saying, "Kids exaggerate. Tara's a little strict, but it's nothing serious." I asked him if she ever physically punished Lily, and he said, "We believe in tough love." I told him I was concerned, and he got defensive and told me to butt out. I sat in my car for an hour, called a CPS hotline, and made a report. Now everything is on fire. Tara and Ben found out. They somehow knew it came from me. Maybe from what I said before. They've blocked me. My mom is furious at me for tearing the family apart and said, I should have talked to Tara directly like a woman. My dad is on my side but says maybe I should have warned them before going nuclear. CPS did a home visit. I don't know all the details, but I know Lily was interviewed at school. After that, Tara lost it and pulled her out the next day. Now they're threatening to sue me for defamation. From everything I understand, I don't think that's even possible. Not long after, I got a call from a woman named Rachel from CPS, Child Protective Services. She said they were following up on the report and thanked me for my concern. I told her I was scared I might have overreacted. Then she told me something that chilled me. We've received previous concerns about this family. That was my first stomach drop. She couldn't say more because of confidentiality, but it was clear my call wasn't the first. I asked her if Lily was okay, and she said they were still evaluating the situation. That's all she could tell me. I hung up and cried. If I was right, then Lily had been living like this for years. And then, as if things weren't already overwhelming, the family drama escalated. First, my mom sent me a 4-paragraph text that I'll summarize. You've destroyed your brother's family. Tara is humiliated. You don't understand what it's like to raise a child, and you jump to conclusions based on one weekend. Kids lie. Lily's fine. Tara is talking about moving away now, and it'll be your fault if Ben loses his daughter. Then my uncle called me to tell me that Ben had shown up at his house drunk, crying and yelling that he was being treated like a criminal because of a snitch. My uncle, who's basically neutral in this whole thing, said Ben looked terrible, like he hadn't slept. I reached out. Ben didn't answer. Tara later made a post that has now been deleted. In it, she wrote, "It's disgusting how some women think they can weaponize systems like CPS out of jealousy and bitterness. We're not perfect parents, but we love our daughter, and some people need to stay in their lanes." My name wasn't in it, but it was clearly about me. Here's where it gets really dark. I got another call from Rachel at CPS yesterday. She said they did a secondary interview with Lily at her daycare after her parents pulled her out of school. She said there were some red flags that led them to escalate the case. When I asked what that meant, she said the investigation had been upgraded to involve law enforcement. Apparently, a worker at the daycare told CPS that Lily has come in with bruises several times and once had a burn mark on her leg that she said was from hot water. When they asked Tara about it, she said Lily spilled soup and that was the end of it. But now it's not so easy to dismiss. Rachel wouldn't say exactly what the bruises were or whether they were definitely caused by abuse, but she said Lily had told them something very disturbing. Mom locks me in the laundry room if I'm bad. One time the light was off for the whole night and I cried, but she said if I keep crying, she'll put tape on my mouth. I feel like vomiting while writing that. Rachel reassured me that Lily is safe for now and that they're taking things very seriously. She thanked me again and said sometimes these cases take time. I'm still full of guilt. Not because I reported, but because I didn't do it sooner. I think back to 2 years ago when I visited and Lily barely talked and Tara brushed it off as just being shy. Or last Christmas when Lily had a black eye and they said she tripped on the stairs. I didn't ask questions. I just believed them. I've been complicit. A part of me still feels twisted up because I didn't want to destroy Ben's life. I just wanted to protect Lily. But the truth is, I did ruin his life in one way or another. Maybe it was a life that needed to be destroyed. I've spoken to a lawyer. There's no basis for defamation because I made a report in good faith and CPS is a protected service. They can't sue me. My dad came to visit and we cried together. He told me he never liked Tara but always thought Ben would grow out of it. He apologized for not doing more when I first told him about the weekend. He says he's proud of me. My mom and I haven't spoken since her text. I'm heartbroken but not surprised. I don't know what comes next. I might not post again until there's real news. But if you're ever in doubt about reporting suspected abuse, please do it. You might be the only adult in that kid's life who does. I wasn't planning to update again until CPS made a decision, but something happened I couldn't ignore. I was contacted by Tara's half-sister, Erin, who I didn't even know existed until a few days ago. She messaged me and said, "I know what you did and I just want to say thank you. I tried years ago and nobody believed me. I was shocked. At first I thought it was some kind of scam or prank. But then she sent me a picture of her and Tara as teens. The resemblance was unmistakable. She asked if I'd talk on the phone. I hesitated but eventually agreed. What Erin told me left me absolutely shaken. According to Erin, they share a biological father. Tara's mom had a brief relationship with him. They weren't raised together but reconnected in their late teens. Erin said she was close to Tara at first and thought she was funny but broken. She said Tara grew up in what she described as a textbook neglect and abuse household. Her mom was an alcoholic. Tara was frequently left alone for days at a time. She'd show up to school in the same clothes for weeks. Sometimes she wasn't fed. Erin said Tara was put into foster care twice before returning to her mother after each. Case was closed. Erin said the worst of it was Tara's stepfather, who was allegedly physically and sexually abusive. Tara tried to report it once as a teen, but no one followed through. Erin said Tara shut down after that, started cutting people off, became emotionally volatile, and stopped trusting anyone. When she met Ben, she was 24, and according to Erin, she finally had some power in her life. And she didn't know how to use it without hurting people. She thinks she's giving her daughter a better life than the one she had. That sentence stuck with me, Erin said. She honestly believes she's a better mom than hers. She feeds Lily more than she was fed. She keeps her in school. She's not passed out drunk at noon. She thinks that's good parenting, but she has no idea what normal looks like. She doesn't know any better. I asked Erin why she didn't intervene before, and she broke down crying. She said she tried. She once called the cops anonymously after hearing Lily scream during a video call, but nothing came of it. She said Ben knows Tara has issues, but he's too proud to admit he's not in control, and too scared to leave. That's when Erin told me something that blew a hole in everything I thought I knew. Ben hits her too. And she lets it happen because she thinks she deserves it. I asked her to explain. She said during a visit in 2023, Tara had a black eye and said she walked into a cabinet. Erin didn't buy it. She waited until Ben went to the store and Tara confessed he got upset when she spent too much on groceries and lost his temper. Erin confronted Ben privately and he allegedly told her to mind her own business. When she threatened to call the police, Tara begged her not to. She said, "He's a good dad." Aaron backed off out of fear of being cut off entirely. Now it's clicking into place. This isn't just an abusive mom situation. This is a toxic, codependent household full of trauma. Tara is both a victim and a perpetrator. Ben, who I thought was just quiet, may actually be more dangerous than I realized. And Lily, she's stuck in the middle of this festering mess. I asked Erin if she would speak to CPS or give them a statement. She said she's scared but willing if they contact her. She didn't want to be the one to initiate, because she doesn't want to lose all contact with Lily. She said, if they think I'm stirring the pot, they'll ghost me forever. But if CPS reaches out, I'll tell them everything. I passed Erin's name and number to Rachel at CPS. I don't know if they'll call her, but I hope they do. The timing of all this is wild, because just 2 days ago, my mom called me sobbing. She said Ben and Tara had a massive fight. Tara apparently threw his phone and he pushed her into a dresser. Lily was in the room. No one called the police, of course, but my mom is very concerned now. She even had the audacity to say, maybe you were onto something. Gee, thanks, Mom. Ben is apparently heartbroken that Lily might be taken from them and is considering getting his own place and taking custody. I don't know if that's even possible anymore. He's under investigation too. Here's the current state of things. Lily is still at home for now, but under increased monitoring. CPS has done multiple home visits and one unannounced. A social worker is now visiting weekly. Ben and Tara are in couples therapy, which sounds like a terrible idea. My mom has softened toward me but hasn't actually apologized. Erin and I talk regularly now. She's kind, smart, and broken in the same ways her sister is. I feel like I'm watching a slow-motion train wreck and all. I can do is stand at the tracks and scream. 6 weeks later, on a Monday, was the big day of the custody hearing. I wasn't planning to go. I wasn't officially part of the case. But then I got a call from Lily's court-appointed gal, guardian ad litem, who said my name had come up multiple times and asked if I'd be willing to give a brief testimony. I said yes. The hearing was in a small, cold courtroom. I arrived early. Ben was already there. He looked like a ghost, pale, twitchy, unshaven. Tara came in later, clearly flustered, clutching a giant tote bag and not making eye contact with anyone. Lily wasn't in the courtroom. She was in a supervised room with a counselor. Erin was there too. We hugged for the first time. The hearing lasted 4 hours. The CPS report was devastating. They didn't go into graphic detail, but these were some of the findings. Lily had multiple bruises that were inconsistent with normal play. She had significant anxiety around sleeping alone and feared being locked in. Her pediatrician testified that she was underweight for her age and her growth. Chart had dropped sharply in the last 18 months. She had untreated cavities and poor hygiene. Then came the home environment. Report mold in the shed where Lily had allegedly been locked. An unsecured knife drawer within her reach, and no evidence of consistent meals being provided. Tara broke down crying on the stand. She admitted to locking Lily in the laundry room once because she needed a break. She said she didn't know it was abuse. She kept repeating, I didn't know. I didn't know. Then Ben was questioned. He flat out denied everything. Said Lily has a vivid imagination and Tara is too soft on her. He called me a meddler and said I've hated Tara since day one, which, frankly, isn't completely untrue, but not for the reasons he thinks. Then it was my turn to speak. I was nervous. I'm not someone who likes attention, especially not courtroom drama. But I told the judge what I saw that weekend. Lily's clothes, her fear, her words. I said something like, I'm not a mom, but I'm a pediatric nurse. I know what normal 5-year-olds are like. And Lily wasn't just anxious or messy, she was terrified. And that's not normal. That's not safe. The judge thanked me. I sat down. Then came the decision. Custody was temporarily removed from both parents. Lily is now placed in kinship care with me. I was stunned. I hadn't asked for that. I hadn't even considered it. But apparently, I was already approved as a potential guardian based on my involvement. Clean record and stable home. Rachel from CPS told me after court, we were hoping for this outcome. She trusts you. Ben stormed out of the courtroom. Tara stayed seated, sobbing into her sleeves. Lily is safe. She's in my care for at least the next 6 months. Possibly longer. Tara is entering a mandatory parenting and trauma therapy program. If she complies and shows progress, she may get supervised visitation. Ben is under separate criminal investigation. I don't know the charges yet. My mother still hasn't apologized, but is sending me check-in Texts like nothing happened. I haven't responded. Erin visits us twice a week. She's amazing with Lily. I told her I'd help her apply for guardianship if anything happens to me. Through all of this, I've learned that doing the right thing isn't always easy or popular. It's messy, complicated, and lonely. But it's necessary. If there's one thing I want anyone listening to remember, don't wait. Don't second-guess yourself. Because sometimes saving a child means breaking a family. And sometimes that's the only way to save a life. All right, that's all for now. Make sure you like and subscribe.